I live alone. No roommates, no pets, no neighbors close enough to hear anything strange at night. That's why the notification I received at 3:12 a.m. still makes my chest tighten when I think about it. Motion detected in bedroom. I remember waking up suddenly that night. Not from a sound, not from a nightmare, just that heavy instinctive certainty that someone had been standing too close to my bed. I didn't move. I didn't open my eyes. I focused on my breathing, terrified that if I shifted even slightly, something would notice. For several seconds, the room felt wrong, too quiet, like it was holding its breath with me. Eventually, nothing happened. No footsteps, no sound. I convinced myself it was just anxiety and fell back asleep. The next morning, I checked the footage. I had installed the security camera about a month earlier, a cheap indoor model with night vision. It faced my bedroom door, not the bed. I didn't want to watch myself sleep. I just wanted proof that if someone ever entered my apartment at night, I'd know. For weeks, it recorded nothing. No false alerts, no glitches, no unexplained movement, until that night. At 3:12 a.m., the bedroom door slowly began to open. Not suddenly, not violently, slow, careful, intentional. The camera struggled to adjust to the darkness. Shadows stretched across the walls, twisting the familiar shape of the room into something unfamiliar. Then someone stepped inside. It took my brain a few seconds to understand what I was seeing. It was me. Same height, same face, same t-shirt I remembered falling asleep in. But the camera angle showed the bed clearly, and I was already lying in it. The version of me standing near the door didn't move. It just stood there, facing the bed, facing me. For nearly 2 full minutes, it remained completely still. I could hear the breathing on the recording, slow, deep, uneven, too close to the microphone. Then its head tilted slightly, as if it heard something behind the camera. That's when the whispering started. My voice, low, strained, repeating the same words again and again. I leaned closer to the screen and turned up the volume, my hands shaking. "Don't wake up." The figure took a step closer to the bed, then another. I watched my sleeping body shift slightly beneath the blanket, as if some part of me sensed what was happening. As if my body knew before my mind did. The thing that looked like me smiled. Not a nervous smile, not a human one. It was too wide, too deliberate. Like it had been practicing for this moment for a long time. The video suddenly glitched. Static flooded the screen. Then it went black. The timestamp froze at 3:17 a.m. I checked my phone. That was the exact moment I remembered waking up that night, gasping, heart racing, absolutely certain that someone had just leaned away from my bed. I moved out the next day. Left the camera behind, never watched the footage again. But last night, my new phone vibrated on the nightstand, a notification from a security app I don't remember installing. Motion detected in bedroom.
It happened 3 months after Claire moved into her new apartment, a small, inexpensive unit at the end of a quiet hallway. She worked long shifts and mostly kept to herself. 2 weeks after moving in, she began hearing it, a soft voice coming from the apartment next door. At first, it sounded like someone talking on the phone. Nothing strange, thin walls, old building. But the longer she listened, the more wrong it felt. The voice wasn't holding a conversation. It was repeating things, whispering them, slowly, clearly, like someone practicing a script. Claire didn't pay attention until one night, around 1 a.m., she heard the voice say her name, Claire. She froze in bed. She hadn't introduced herself to any neighbors yet. After a minute, the voice continued, whispering other phrases, things she'd said on the phone earlier that day, word for word. Claire forced herself to assume the obvious. Thin walls, someone overheard her, nothing more. She went to work the next morning, tired but convinced she was imagining the worst. But that night, the voice came back, louder this time. "Don't hang up, Claire. Don't move. I can hear you breathing." Claire pressed her ear against the wall. The voice stopped immediately, as if it knew she was there. Then, a faint knock sounded from the other side. 3 slow taps. She stepped back. She called the landlord at 2 a.m. He sounded irritated, but agreed to check in the morning. When she woke up, she heard activity next door, footsteps, objects being moved. She opened her door, expecting to finally see her neighbor, but the apartment next door was wide open, completely empty, unfurnished, unoccupied. "The place has been vacant for months," the landlord said. "We've been trying to rent it." Claire insisted she heard someone inside. The landlord shrugged. "Old buildings make noise." Claire knew what she heard was not random noise. That night, she left her TV on and tried to fall asleep. For hours, nothing happened. Then, at 3:12 a.m., her phone vibrated. A text from an unknown number. "You're awake." She dropped the phone. The message wasn't just creepy, it was familiar. It was the exact phrase she'd heard whispered through the wall the first night. She blocked the number. Then another message appeared from a different number. "Don't block me. I'm right here." Suddenly, the knocking returned. Not from the wall this time, from her front door. 3 slow taps. Claire approached the peephole with shaking hands. No one was there. Then her phone buzzed again. A photo. A grainy picture taken from inside the hallway, directly in front of her door. "Open up." Claire backed away, locked herself in the bathroom, and called the police. They arrived 20 minutes later. The hallway was empty. There were no signs of forced entry, no footprints, nothing. One officer asked if she lived alone. "Yes," she answered. He hesitated before speaking. "Then you might want to check this." He handed her a body cam still frame taken moments before they reached her door. In the image, something stood outside Claire's apartment. A figure, tall, thin, with its head turned toward the camera. The face was blurred, but the mouth was visible. It was smiling. The timestamp showed it had been standing there exactly 6 seconds before the police arrived. Yet, by the time they reached her door, it had vanished, completely silent, leaving nothing behind. Claire hasn't returned to the apartment since. She still gets messages, always at 3:12 a.m. "You were such a quiet neighbor. Come back. We never finished practicing your name."